Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's our problem-free philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
Welcome. This video is for content teachers of English language learners, and this video will review the K form known as the Group Student Language Profile. I'm Ms. Anderson, ESOL teacher, and I teach middle grades 6 through 8. Welcome. In addition to receiving the individual student language profile, which is pictured here, content teachers are also given the group student language profile. The group K form lists all students by proficiency level in a group so that teachers are able to see at a glance their students together. This form is great to hang on your bulletin board or wherever you plan to assist with creating lessons that are designed with your students' language proficiency levels in mind. This form is excellent for differentiating and grouping your students together. Let's go through a couple of example students. Now, while the names are not real, these are real example students that you will have in your class. Let's start with Pinocchio. Pinocchio is a level 1 student across all 4 domains. This means that Pinocchio is new to learning English and will need to start very slow. Pinocchio should start with making vocab cards, and you can make them fun activities for him, then matching the vocab with images, and then arranging the images to develop a list or story, and so forth. So Pinocchio should also be taught how to use the dictionary. We teach students, our ESOL students, how to use the dictionary in class, but content teachers also need to be aware that you have the language of your content, the language of math, the language of social studies, and the language of science. And so students need to be able to use dictionaries in your class as well as in the ESOL classroom. And so those dictionaries can be picture dictionaries, paperback dictionaries, and online dictionaries. And so for level 1 students, flashcards, picture cards, and Quizlets, those are just a few of great supports for level 1 students. Next, let's look at Bambi. Bambi is a little different from Pinocchio in that while her listening and speaking skills are a 1, she is a 2 in reading and writing. This means that somewhere in Bambi's history, she has been exposed to English. This could have been at school or at home. At this point, Bambi is taking in a lot of language, and depending on if she's practicing the language at home and at school, is determinant of her progress. So for you content teachers, get Bambi speaking in class. Next up is Hercules. Hercules is a 2 across all 4 domains. This indicates that Hercules, this is probably his second year in ESOL, and he is now starting to emerge and to process the language that he's learning. So his sentences will be short and broken, but they will be understood. And so he has not yet have a very good base of grammar in his writing, but he is making progress. So Hercules will be learning fast, and if in the classroom there's lots of scaffolding and the task that he has to do, then he should just fly through. Now, Cinderella is a little different from Hercules in that she is a 3 in listening, a 2 in speaking, a 2 in reading, and a 3 in writing. This would suggest that Cinderella can list and follow oral instructions just fine, and so she needs to be placed in situations that require her to speak and to read. So therefore, she needs to be the one to read aloud to a partner, or to the entire class if she will. She can be like the teacher assistant and she can give instructions to her peers. Basically, anything in class that will get Cinderella reading and speaking will be great. Next up is Batman. While Batman is great at listening, he is not so good at reading and writing. So, focus needs to be on Batman's habits in class. So, questions to ask are: is he focused during instruction? Is he practicing and applying what he is learning? So, Batman can reach proficiency, but he has to be pushed at this point. So, students in the mid 3.5 range, and some slightly lower, and most all that are higher, are going to perform very similar to their peers in the classroom. And so, while they still need support, they may not need as much support as your lower level students. So, those students in the mid range, the rigor needs to be very high because these students are positioned to test out of ESOL. And so, these students are key because we do not want them to get stagnant, but rather we want them to move up and move out. So now, as we can see, it's great to see our students grouped together on a visual scale. I just went only through a few examples, and so when you start to plot your students, you will see it will start to gel and to come alive for you. So I hope these few examples helped, okay? Um, Now, the group forms are going to be sent to all teachers. They will be divided by grade level. And so, a great exercise for a content teacher to learn your student levels is to use the blank group profile form and plot just your students. So, you can plot all of your students on one form, or you can break them up by class period. And I promise that you will find it extremely helpful as you are planning your lessons. So, this was your group language profile in a nutshell. If you need more clarification and or examples, please let the ESOL teachers know. We will be more than happy to assist you.
It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's a problem-free philosophy.
Thank you for your time and Hakuna Matata to you.
Hakuna Matata.